Well, my name is Anna Tekelberg, and I work with the Whole U, which is the UW's Wellness and Engagement Program. We're super excited to have this great afternoon to learn more about origami and get to try some as well. I know we have a big mix of age ranges with us today. We have those within the UW community and our greater community. So welcome all. Super excited to be here with you for the next hour. We have 3 portions for this hour. We may go slightly over if you have a few minutes to stick around, but we'll try to get all of our parts in the first in that first 60 minutes. So welcome to our presenters. Thank you four so much for being here. We're super excited to learn from you. Our 3 presenters today are Akiko Iwata, Fumiko Takeda, and Izumi and Kohi. And I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys take it away from here and tell us a little bit more about yourselves. And we're all excited to learn from you.
So may I start? Okay,
Yes.
hi. Yeah. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Akiko Iwata. I am teaching Japanese language in Asian language and literature. We thank the Whole U, especially Anna, for giving us the opportunity to present our Japanese culture today. Before starting, I would like to ask you a few things. As you know, please mute yourself during the presentation. And in this presentation, we will not have a Q&A session due to the limited time, unfortunately. If you have any questions, please email us directly. We are going to post our email address in the chat here. Next, please let me ask you about your background. There are 2 questions. Anna, thank you. Could you please answer, everyone?
So we have question 1 up now, and then we can do question 2 right after.
As expected, we have many UW members, but we also have a lot of elementary school students. I assume some of them are Izumi's friend. Thank you. Shall we move on to the second question?
Yes. Right.
How many kind of origami models have you made before? Well, it seems there are many very experienced people. Thank you for answering the questions. Okay, now we are going to start. And Professor Takeda is the first presenter. I will hand it over to her now.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, right. So I'm gonna start now. Welcome to Origami Workshop. My name is Fumiko Takeda, and I'm teaching Japanese here at UW. I am currently teaching 3rd and 5th year college level Japanese. Okay. And today I'll be talking about a brief history of origami. The second presenter, Akiko Iwata, will be talking about symbolism of peace and how origami has been applied to science and engineering. Lastly, Izumi and Kohei Takahashi will explain about origami bases and will give you guided instruction to make origami rolls. So let's begin. So what is origami? Origami consists of 2 words. Ori comes from a verb oru, meaning to fold, and kami means paper. So together, folding paper. In old days, origami used to mean a paper folded in half. All the official documents were folded in half in Japan, and they were called origami. We also have Origami Day too. It is November 11th. Do you know why? November 11th has 4 ones or lines. 4 lines makes a square. Okay, let me talk about some features and health benefits of origami. Okay, origami does not take much space or money to enjoy. It can also facilitate communications between family and friends as you do them together. They can also be used to deliver hope, peace, quick recovery from sickness. I'm pretty sure you've seen 1,000 cranes before for this purpose. And origami is also used as meditation. Folding neatly and precisely can promote your imagination, ability to focus, sense of color, and space recognition. Lots of good benefits. Right. Let me start talking about brief history of origami. First, I'm going to talk about paper making method. Paper was invented in China in the 2nd century BC by a person named Kaikan. He is traditionally known as inventor of paper. The main materials used back then were the tree bark, hemp waste, old rags, and fish nets. So when did Japan start making paper? Okay, paper making method was brought to Japan by Namjin, the Buddhist priest in the 7th century, 610, from Goguryeo, Korea. From there, Japanese people started making their own paper called washi. Okay, so this slide background has washi paper on it. Features of washi are thin, durable, and long-lasting. In fact, we have 12,000-year-old book made of washi at the Shosoin, which is a national treasure house, Nara Prefecture. That's amazing. Washi paper is now listed as intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO in 2014. The main ingredients for washi, paper mulberry plant, made it possible for washi to be thin and strong. In Japanese, called kozo. And here is the picture of that paper mulberry plant. Okay, so purpose of paper in history. Paper was used to read history, and as Buddhism was brought to Japan in 538 AD, it was used to record sutras. Paper was also used for Shinto rituals. In these rituals, offering to God were wrapped in paper. From this wrapping custom, is also developed so ritual folds, as you can see in the picture below. The left picture are examples of ritual folds. The right pictures are another example of ritual folds used today. These envelopes are used to give money to people at the wedding. Okay. Wrapping gifts in Heian period. So this is the Heian period. And during the Heian period, exchanging gifts with beautiful wrapping became popular among the noble classes. This was said to be the origin of origami. During this period, the frog was already around. So I couldn't quite find the exact frog that they used to have, but this is what we have today. And they used to play with this already. Okay, so we're gonna move on to Muramachi. Like the Heian period, paper still was only available to the upper class, like the aristocrats in the Muramachi period. The traditional crane and yakuza, as you can see in the picture, already existed. So crane, this is the yakuza, were already there at the Muramachi period. Okay, so origami in Edo period. In Edo period, paper was finally available to the common people. This was due to the fact that mass producing paper became possible. The first book about origami was also published in the Edo period in 1797. So they already had a book on origami, and I'm going to show the picture of the book here. This is the actual book. In the left photo, the enlarged view shows the unfolded view of one origami model. And if you look closely at the right photo, you can see that they already have dotted lines and straight lines. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to Meiji period. In the Meiji period, origami was taught in the school system. They were mainly taught in kindergarten and elementary schools. Okay, now I'm going to talk about this one person named Akira Yoshizawa, who is considered to be the grandmaster of origami. He is credited with raising origami from a craft to a living art. He created more than 50,000 models. Yoshizawa acted as an international cultural ambassador for Japan throughout his career, spreading origami to more than 50 countries. In 1983, Emperor Hirohito awarded him the Order of the Rising Sun, one of the highest honors bestowed in Japan. Okay, so that was a very brief history of origami. I talked about paper invented in China, paper Japanese making washi, ritual folds, wrapping gifts as the origin of origami, paper, class fold, but then in Edo period, common people were able to enjoy origami, and Sawa was the one who spread origami internationally. I'd like to talk about two locations you can visit when you go to Japan next time. One is called the Tokyo Origami Museum, located in Sumida Ward. And this is the building and what's inside the building here. Another place I would like to introduce you is called Origami Kaikan in Ochanomizu, Tokyo. And this place has a very good website. If I can show you really quick, just a second. Need to change my screen here for a second. Oh, sorry, that's not the one. Sorry. This one. Okay, so this is the Origami Kaikan website, and they actually have internship where you can, if you go there as a study abroad student, this is the picture what this person did. They colored the paper, they helped out with the workshop, and just teaching to kids. So you can, if you're interested in doing something like this in Japan, this is definitely a place to go visit. Okay. And then there's another place called Origami Base. This is where you can also take online classes and workshops. It's all in English. Okay. That was it from me today. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, please questions to my email. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna pass this to Akiko now.
Thank you, Fumiko. Now my name is Akiko Iwata. I'm teaching Japanese at the Asian Language and Literature. Today, let me show my screen. Can you see it? Okay. I would like to talk about two topics: symbolism of peace and origami science and engineering. First, this is a paper crane I created today. Yeah, this is folded not only for fun, but also for traditional reasons as well. Paper cranes are a symbol of peace. Do you know why? People say paper cranes are lucky birds since they live long. We say cranes live for 1,000 years. Turtles live for 10,000 years. In old days, when Japanese people visited shrines and would like to thank God for their happy lives, they dedicated handmade cranes there. And during the war, People started to fold cranes for soldiers. They fold it when they have their hopes and desires. And now I would like to tell a story about a famous girl called Sadako Sazaki, who made the paper crane so special to Japanese people. Sadako Sazaki was born in 1944 in Hiroshima, Japan. She was 1 year old when on August 6, 1945, the atomic bomb was dropped in the city. When she was 11 years old in 1955, she was diagnosed with leukemia, a type of cancer that was later linked to radiation fallout from the bomb. While Sadako was in a hospital, she started to fold paper cranes. In Japan, there is a belief that if someone folds 1,000 paper cranes, their wish will come true. Sadako kept folding paper cranes for 14 months, hoping that she could get well again. She loved running and wanted to run again. Sadly, this wish wouldn't come true. She died at 12 years old. By this time, she had folded over 1,300 paper cranes. Later, her friends and classmates raised money to build a memorial in honor of Sadako and other atomic bomb victims. The Hiroshima Peace Memorial was completed in 1958 and has a statue of Sadako holding a golden crane. Another statue of Sadako is also in the Peace Park in the University District of Seattle. Did you know that? In 1990, this park was created by Floyd Schumol. He was a winner of the 1988 Hiroshima Peace Prize and spent the awarded money for the park. He had taught forestry at the UW too. This life-size bronze statue of Sadako was sculpted by Daryl Smith in 1990. Many people have visited the park with their folded paper cranes. Okay, next, I would like to talk about special origami features. Origami involves various techniques, and nowadays the techniques are incorporated in the field of science and engineering and contribute to the innovations. Look at this folded paper called Miura fold. In the unfolded view of the Miura fold, the red and blue lines indicate mountain and valley fold, respectively. This fold actually has notable mathematical features. The Miura fold was invented by the Japanese astrophysicist Koryo Miura. This fold consists of many parallelisms. It's not a square because all the folded sides are not overlapping. This folding techniques can be greatly reduce and compress a sheet of paper. And also, once you fold the paper using Miura fold, it can self-fold or unfold by pulling or pushing diagonally. The fold patterns also give the paper greater stiffness and compressibility. This fold has various real-world applications. Can you guess in what products Miura fold is adopted? Foldable maps, because they are light and can be folded easily. They are convenient to bring while hiking. And airbag. The airbag is folded in a tiny cylinder. When a car crashes, it can open and expand out of the cylinder instantly. Partition in an emergency shelter. They are used in an emergency shelter after a natural disaster that destroyed buildings. In Japan, we often have earthquakes. When people evacuate in a shelter, they use this partition to keep their privacy. This is foldable and also strong. Since these origami techniques are incorporated in the field of science and engineering, we have the word origami science and engineering. I will introduce two products that adopted origami's special feature in scientific and medical fields. I am not an expert in these fields, but I'll try to explain. The examples are solar panel for space satellites and stent graft in artery. Artery is a blood vessel, and stent graft is a medical device to support the blood vessel. Solar panels are devices which are used to absorb sun's rays and convert them into electricity or heat. Some people have solar panels on their house to produce their own energy. However, it is mentioned that bringing solar panel to space is promising because no matter the time or weather, the solar panel will produce energy in an effective way. The solar panels are really big, so the engineers need to fold it small and light in a rocket to send it into space. Engineers are currently working on the project by adopting origami techniques to this project. Now, I would like to play a short video. It explained how the origami technique is adopted to the space development. It is slow.
Always something with Zoom. We could give it a minute and see if it works.
Yeah.
What we want in space are large structures, not necessarily massive, but large, which means you can make them out of thin materials. And wherever you can make them out of thin materials, you can use origami to fit them in these rockets.
Many space projects have used the folding principles of origami. The solar array wings on the ISS use a Z folding pattern, and the Mars Phoenix lander used a fan-folding solar array called the Ultraflex.
Because the biggest rockets we have right now are only about 5 meters in diameter, we have to come up with a way of folding up this very large structure into spaces that we can launch it inside a rocket. And once it gets to space, it can unfold itself. And origami is one mechanism by which we can do that because it gives us the underlying mathematics of how large thin sheets fold up.
One origami project currently...
Okay, it is surprising to see how origami techniques has been adopted in such a big project. Okay, let's go back to my PowerPoint. Okay, let's move on to the next origami. This is a magic ball. You can make it from a piece of paper. This is unfolded view of namako fold. Namako fold is called pineapple or cucumber patterns as well. It consists of many right triangles, and the paper can extend it vertically and horizontally. This folding technique has application in medical technology. Look at the pictures. These tubes are arteries, blood vessels. Artery is the blood vessel that deliver blood from heart to various body parts. They sometimes become diseased because of high blood pressure, diabetes, and so forth. And stent grafts are used to support the weakened artery. A stent graft is a cylindrical tool that doctors put into an artery to widen and support it. It is made of a fabric stretched over a metallic mesh. However, in some cases, the stent grafts can damage the inside of the artery since the wire mesh stent could break the cover. To solve this problem, origami stent graft was invented by the Japanese researcher, Kaori Kuribayashi Shigetomi. They are made from single foldable foil with namako fold. They are not paper. Actually, this left one This is actually origami. And the medical device is this metallic stainless steel. They're made of a stainless steel and expand in artery with body temperature. Because the origami stent is made from only one material, it doesn't damage the artery like the previous machine fabric stent. The Japanese researcher Kaori Kuribayashi Shigetomi invented this product using origami technique. And I would like to show another very short video again. This video shows how an origami stent graft opens in the artery. And this lady is a Kaori Kuribayashi Shigetomi.
So this is a video. I made the stent graft with a shame alloy, and shame alloy can remember the shape. Yeah, because of the metal shame alloy, and then this tube, it's imitate to the vessels, and then we heat it to 37 degrees. And this structure to remember the kind of tube, like that is the original shape. So because it's 37 degrees, they back to the original shape. So now you can see they're gradually open up. So we can, creating this kind of shape using origami.
During my research, I was impressed to learn that origami was not just for play, but also contributes to our lives in many ways. These old traditions comes from our past, but will continue to guide our future and will improve our lives. We should keep passing this tradition on to future generations. Now, Professor Takahashi and his son, Izumi, will talk about their experience and give an origami demonstration. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kohei Takahashi, and I'm a visiting scholar of UW. But today, the main presenter is my son. I'm just a kind of assistant because he has been kind of into origami folding for a long time. And today, let us share his passion for origami. Okay, let me share our keynote for a second. Oh, I can't use share screen, so could you allow us to share screen?
Oh, of course. One moment. There you go. Sorry about that.
Okay. Okay. Let me share. Can you see that?
Hello everyone, thank you for coming today. My name is Izumi Takahashi. I'd like to discuss origami with you today. First, I'm going to talk about origami bases. After that, let's fold an origami work together. Now, let's jump into my presentation. First of all, let me introduce myself. I came to Seattle from Kyoto, Japan last March with my family. Before coming to Seattle, I found that origami was a great way to make friends. Unfortunately, the pandemic made it hard to show them to my friends. So I'm very happy to have the opportunity to talk about and show you my origami works on the next slide. The first one is a crane. This is one of the most famous works. Some of you may have seen it before. The second is a robot. It's a little bit difficult, but it's cool, isn't it? The next is a dinosaur. I like its head, particularly its jaw. The last one is an eagle. It's my favorite one. I used a special origami paper with colors on both sides. I didn't paint it. What do you think about them? I hope you were glad to see them. But I would like to ask you why they are so impressive. Is it because they were made by a 10-year-old boy? I don't think so. I believe there are other reasons, and they are also related to the definition of origami. To make it clear, let me show you a movie. The movie will show the process of creating these pieces, but in reverse. It will start with the finished piece and play backwards. These are shapes in the process. As I watched, I made them just from a square sheet of paper, without using scissors, glue, or tape. I define origami as folding a square sheet of paper into something without cutting, gluing, or taping. I think that is also the reason why fine origami works just like that. Next, I want to talk about the appeal of origami for me. First, we can make 3D objects from a sheet of paper that is just 2D. This is a pyramid. It looks pretty simple, but I needed to fold the paper accurately to shape it. The second attraction of origami is to make a curved line from a straight line. For instance, animals and insects have lots of curved lines in their bodies. We can make them more realistic by using curved lines. In the next section, I will explain crease pattern. In origami, the lines showing how to fold are sometimes shown on the paper like this. For example, as shown in this slide, dotted lines and solid lines may indicate mountain folds and valley folds. Let me show you a movie of how to fold. The left side is red, which has dotted lines. This is a mountain fold. The right side is blue, which has solid lines. This is a valley fold. In this case, if you fold it, you will get a kabuto, which is a traditional Japanese helmet worn by warriors. Here is another pattern, which shows red lines as mountain folds and blue lines as valley folds. Here, I have a quiz for you. I'm showing you 3 crease patterns. Please imagine what you will get if you fold each of them correctly and choose the answer from the 3 choices. I will give you 10 seconds. Question 1. Which is correct? A. Crane. B. Crane. C. Crane. I have just learned rhyming at school.
Getting a little of every guess in the chat.
Time's up. The answer is B. Crane. Congratulations. It was pretty easy. Question 2. Which is correct? A. Toes. B. Nose. C. Nose. Time's up. The answer is C. Rose. Congratulations. Were you correct? Question 3. Which is correct? A. Hummingbird. B. Beetle. C. Spider. Time's up. The answer is A. Hummingbird. Congratulations. Final question. I wanted to ask you this one most. Here are 3 patterns. As a reminder, they were crane, rose, and hummingbird. The final question is, what do they have in common? No choices this time.
Someone says valley and mountain folds. Maybe the star pattern.
Oh.
The answer is that they are all shaped like a windmill. This is a very important concept, the origami base. The shape the 3 patterns have in common is called crane base because it is a shape that appears when folding a crane. Here are other origami bases. The crease pattern in the center is called fish base. On the right side is bird base. If you follow the lines and fold them correctly, you will get these shapes as shown. Why are they called base? It's because you can make up different shapes from them. Let me show you what you can fold up from each base. From crane base, you can get a crane, of course, and a rose and a hummingbird. It's interesting that while the crane and hummingbird are similar in final appearance, but the rose looks quite different. However, they have the same base actually. Next is fish base. As you can see, we can fold up a seal, a dog, and a seahorse. The last one is bird base. Here are 2 models, a turkey and a railroad. There are less works that start from the bird base than the other 2 bases, but don't let that stop you from designing a new model from this base. Now it's time to talk about the final topic. It's about designing a new model. Recently, I have tried to create a new model of origami. Let me show you 2 models I designed. The first one is an alpaca. This is my first model. The second is a bulldog. I think I succeeded in expressing its stability. When I tried to design them, I used a base which I mentioned earlier. People who create new models often start with the origami bases. In my case, to make an alpaca, I used a base which has 4 fish bases in 1 sheet of paper. Designing a new model is a completely different experience than folding an existing one. It needs more imagination because you have to keep an image of the object in your mind while folding it. In addition, you need to be patient because it's impossible to make it for the first time. Designing is harder than following the instructions, and folding the existing model. But it is very exciting and satisfying in the end. This is the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed learning about origami with me. Next, we are moving forward to the instructions. What are we going to make is a rose. First, we will fold the crown base, and from it, we will make the rose. Before that, I would like to tell you something important about folding. When folding, please make sure to fold as accurately as possible like the top picture. I found that it was difficult to explain with camera in real time, so I will play a movie I made to instruct how to fold. Also, I uploaded the same movie on YouTube. I'm sending you the link to it in the chat box. So if you miss some parts while folding, you can watch it on YouTube too.
Oh, Anna, could you share the link of YouTube on the chat box, please?
Yes, absolutely. So everyone, that link is there. We recommend you open it up. You can follow along while Izumi continues to teach us.
Now let's start folding the rose. Please put a square sheet of paper in front of you.
Do you have origami paper? Okay, could you put the paper in front of you like this? Okay, let's start.
I'm using a pink origami paper, which has orange on the other side. The color facing to you will be the color of rose. First, we'll make the body folds along the diagonal. Please make sure to match the corners and the sides correctly. Open it again and fold it in the same way. And open it. And flip it over.
This is the back side of paper.
Next, fold along the crossing lines. Please do it accurately. You are folding it in half. Open it and change the direction and do it again. Please look out. This is the first difficult phase. Lift up the corners on both sides and put all the corners in one place. And make a small square. We will do it again.
Lift up the both sides of the origami paper and make all the corners onto the same point.
Next, fold along the line I am tracing with my finger. Move the corner onto the center line. Just like this. Do it the same way on the other side too.
In the same way on the left side.
And flip it again. Fold the back side in the same way. It should look like this.
Did you get it? Okay.
Body fold the top triangle along the line. And open it.
Make sure to open it.
In this way, to make folding easier, I often fold it only to make creases. Open all the parts you just folded and make a small square again. Now it's close to the clam base. This is the second difficult part. Please watch the movie carefully. Lift up the top paper from the bottom corner. Then make a body fold along the crease you made. That will be a diamond shape, like this. And fold the same on the back side. First, fold down the triangle to make a crease.
And open it. Make sure to open it again. So it's just for making a crease. That makes folding easier.
Lift up the top paper and fold it along the slanting line you made. The same way as the front side.
How did you do that again?
Okay, for a second. This is the most difficult part, so I will play the movie of this part again. So please look out carefully. And you will get a diamond like this.
If you get the diamond shape like this, congratulations, that's a crane base.
Yeah, that's a crane base.
But look out, please don't miss it. You need to turn the right side to the left, like turning a page of a book. Please do it again on the back side. You will see the triangle in center. It's just like a fox.
It's kind of like the face of a fox. If you get the fox, you're right.
Then lift up the bottom half of the diamond and fold it upward. Please don't forget to flip it over. Here is another fox. Fold up its face. If you've done it correctly, you will have a triangle like this. Turn it upside down and fold it up so that the bottom vertex overlaps with the top line. The same on the other side. And turning a page of a book.
Flip it over
And do it again.
and do it again.
Fold it up in the same way. If you get the trapezoid, stand it up like a mountaineer. And look at it from the sky. Open the both sides and make it the crossing shape. Please watch out. Here is another complicated part. Open one of the trapezoids like this, please. I'm just marking it so that you could figure out how to fold. So you don't need to mark it.
He is marking on one of the corner, the center line, and he is moving the corner onto the center line. Okay, it's a little bit difficult, so I will play it again. How to fold here.
You're not gonna fold the corner into the
bottom line.
The bottom line.
You did?
If you are done, you open the next petal and fold it the same way. Please repeat it 4 times. Open the petal.
This is the third one.
It's close to the end. It's close to the end.
Top right corner onto the center line.
The fourth petal looks a little different because the 3 petals have already opened. But don't worry about it. It's the same actually. Corners into the center line. It's same. But it's a very big complicated. Alright, this is the last part. Twisting the paper. Please use 4 fingers to twist. You can use whichever fingers you want, but I recommend using the thumb. Don't do it too strongly, please be gentle. This is the final part. Shaping the petals. We fold the corners in backwards, just like this. Please do it at all the 4 petals. And you don't have to do it too accurately.
So making it round so that it looks like a real rose.
Finally, we are making it round. Please make the 2 corners of each petal folded in backwards. along the line. And you don't have to do it very accurately with this. Twist it again to finish. And you're done.
Okay.
If you get it, could you show it on the camera? Thank you, and congratulations. If you are still struggling with it, please watch the movie and try it again. I will keep it on YouTube. I believe you can do it. That's all for my instructions. Thank you for working with me.
Wow, Izumi, that was amazing. I have to do that last step a little bit more personally. I'm a little slower, but it's super fun to see everyone who got it. Thank you so much. So can you tell us what I would love to hear what your next item will be. What is something that you would like to create that you haven't been able to yet?
What do you want to design next? Lava?
I want to design a dragon.
Dragon.
Because it's cool.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, when you do, you'll have to send us pictures.
Mm-hmm.
We'd love to keep up with your work. Well, thank you for all of our presenters. That was just a really awesome opportunity to learn about origami and also get to follow along. I'm excited to keep watching your video, Izumi, and finish my rows. I know our presenters are still with us. We're just at time, but if anyone did have a question that you really wanted to get out, you can go ahead and throw it in the chat right now, and we'll see if we have a little bit of time to answer some. Again, thank you so much for those who were able to attend, and our presenters. You guys were so wonderful. I see a raised hand with Asuka. You can go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
My name is not really Asuka. My name is Jasmine. That's just my mom's name.
Oh, well, welcome, Jasmine. What's your question, Jasmine?
I don't have a question. I have a paper crane.
That is super cool. Can you show it a little bit higher, Fred? Wow.
Beautiful.
I like the colors on it.
Definitely.
And I'm looking in the chat.
I can't really figure out the words, so I made my own kind of armadillo bird.
That's awesome. Well, it looks like you're close to getting it. Well, thank you for sharing with us, Jasmine. So far, a question I got in the chat is, will the recording be made available? Yes, the recording will be made available. That's really all the time we have today, everyone. Again, I can go ahead and throw those emails in the chat if anyone does have a specific question you'd like to ask any of our presenters. I hope you guys all have a great afternoon. It's been wonderful to be on this call with you. And Akiko, Humiko, thank you so much for your research. And, you know, there's so many amazing applications to origami. Some people were sharing in the chat also different researchers at UW and aerospace engineering and all sorts of other areas. It's being used at UW. So that's super cool to just learn about more applications into our lives at the university. Izumi, Kohei, thank you so much for walking us through your process and showing us some of your work. I hope you guys all have a great afternoon.